talk to you guys about how to make a Honda Civic Si reliable. So right behind me I have my 2015 Honda Civic Si, and I'm going to break down two categories that you guys will love and you will need to know about if you want to start modifying or use your Honda Civic Si as a daily driver. So before we jump into this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Also hit the notification bell so you won't miss out any of my updates, and I hope you guys enjoy this video because I recommend you to watch this one. So before we jump into this video, make sure you get two things out, or maybe one if you have a cell phone like mostly everybody does. Get that out and start taking notes, and if you want to be old school, have a pen and pad out. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. Alright, so as you can see here, DD stands for daily driver. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is maintenance. What type of maintenance do you need to do to your Honda Civic Si? And we're going to jump right into the first one that everybody needs to really know about is what type of oil should you be using. Now, I use Valvoline. Valvoline is the best oil to have for this type of car. I recommend Valvoline because I have great oil that you can use and go for this long distance. And also Valvoline is the top oil to use when you for track cars. So use it for a track car, you might as well use it for a daily too. So make sure you're getting the right proper oil. Please do not go down and get any cheap oil out there, guys. I know you talk about do not any mom and pop stores. Go to a auto place like AutoZone, Harbor Freight. Go anywhere that's reliable when it comes to oil. O'Reilly's, go to those places to get you some real proper oil. And if you don't know what type of oil you should be using, this car uses OW20. Hope you guys know that. If you don't know what it is, they use OW20. So make sure you're using OW20 for this car. Now, you're using 4 quarts. Move along from oil, you want to go down to your engine. Now, the K24 engine does not break. But if you play stupid enough and do stupid things, your car will break down. So everybody know what engine we have is the K24 engine. 2.4 liter engine, okay? So on top of that, it's a 2.4 liter engine. One thing you want to check when it comes to your engine, make sure your timing belt is good. Make sure your spark plugs are good. Let me write this stuff down for you guys. Spark plugs, timing belt. Make sure those are the main 2 components that you're really gonna need to check. Alternator, you also gotta check one of those. Make sure the alternator is running good. And last but not least, a lot of people like to, I'm gonna do it later. Make sure your battery is 100% ready to go. So that being said, this is the things you would need to check on your engine. It's a K24 2.4 liter. Spark plugs, timing belt, alternator, and battery. So moving right along, we're going down to the tires. What tires do you use? Right now, the tires I use, let me look right quick. I use Racining tires. Now there are all type of tires out there you can get out there, but recommend you get tires with nice grip. I usually recommend a low profile tire usually that comes with this vehicle, so you want to get that before you do anything else. So yeah, make sure you have good tires. Make sure your engine's good, make sure you check on your engine components, make sure you check on your oil, and also do your daily maintenance. When it comes to tires also, make sure you're rotating your tires. If you're not rotating your tires, you're gonna have a lot of wear and tear later down the road. So yes, for all my daily drivers out here, please follow this guide. I'm sorry about the sloppy handwriting. I feel like I'm doing the class, but which I am doing the class today. So daily drivers, you want to make sure your maintenance, oil, engine components, tires is ready to go. Alright guys, so this next session is for all my modified guys out there, because if you drive a heavily modified Honda Civic with all type of parts on there, you got to maintain this stuff. And also, if you're using it as a daily driver, you want to do this and this times 10. If you have a modified Honda Civic out there, first thing I'm going to talk about is oil. We already talked about what type of oil you should use, the best on the market. But what else can you do to help your oil stay cooler and longer? So I recommend you guys to buy a oil cooling system. This right here will lower your cool temps in your car, and if you have gauges, that will also help with your car too, because you can see if your oil pressure is dropping or your oil is too hot. So make sure you have an oil cool system if you're doing if you got some heavy heavy artillery in the engine bay. So moving right along to the engine, short ram intake or a regular intake. For my modified guys there, I'm pretty sure you know the difference from a short ram in and a regular intake. Okay, so short ram intake and a regular intake, those are some of the modifications that you have in the engine. If you put a turbo in there, guys, that's another big thing you're gonna have to maintenance hard, because if you don't maintenance your turbo, you're gonna be in trouble. Now, move along with those things. Like, these are, you get into the more specifics in the engine bay, but one thing about we have to do, you have a engine, the K24 is reliable at all times, but if you don't have the proper maintenance on this, you need spark plug change. Coolant lines, change your coolant lines. These things you will have to change in your car if you have a heavy modified engine. If you are also, guys, if you're doing these crazy heavy modifications to your engine and stuff like that, make sure you upgrade that dang clutch. There's different type of stage clutches you get. Upgrade to a stage 2, stage 3 clutch. But stage 3, stage 4 clutches come with more and more maintenance to do. So we're not gonna talk about that discussion today. Make sure you upgrade your clutch. And also, the main thing when it comes to engine, what is one thing people fail at and do not do, and that's how they mess up the engine over time and all type of codes pop up on the car? Please tune your engine. Get a tune. Honda Data Flash Pro is one of the top regular tunes you can go to, or if you want to go a little bit more upgrade, go to a tuner itself. Honda Data Flash Pro or a high professional tuner. So when it comes to this engine bay, it's a very touchy topic. I'm not gonna really jump into it, but these are the things that people have inside the engine bay that they really need to make sure they're taken care of when it comes to having a heavy modified car and trying to make it reliable. So we're gonna jump down to my favorite part that I know so well, is suspension. So right now, guys, I'm currently wearing BC Racining Coilovers, one of the top coilovers. You get Fortune Auto coilovers. You get so much good suspension out there. One thing I do not want to see you guys with some broke down coilovers. Now, you riding down broke down coilovers and you trying to race people day in and day out, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna break and you're gonna be stuck on the road. So make sure you get good coilovers, guys. Do not, I'm begging you, do not get no messed up coilovers, because I don't have time for you guys in my comment section. You was right, I know I was. So please get coilover. Make sure your car is level out when you do coilovers. Coilover is a mathematical game, to take your time, do your measurements correctly. If you don't, you will be like this. I need you guys to be like this, all right? So we're gonna skip tires for right now, because we're gonna move down to exhaust. Exhaust is one of the things too that you need to make sure you go to get a tune. Now, I won't be at fault I haven't got a tune yet, because I have more things I want to do with my car before I go get a tune. Can you run an exhaust without a tune? Of course you can. Most cars who have modified exhaust don't have a tune. The full whole exhaust system, okay? So I have a downpipe by Rev9 and I have the Invidia Exhaust. So yes, exhaust. Make sure you're doing your proper maintenance on exhaust. How do you really do a proper maintenance on exhaust? Well, one thing you can do is make sure you're not going on any crazy speed bumps, so you won't get any holes in your, or holes or bends in your exhaust. If you do, then you're gonna have to get a friend, chop it off and modify it up and get it welded again, like something that I don't know nothing about right now. So yes, all my exhaust people out there, please make sure you're taking care of your exhaust. Do not do nothing crazy. If something's too low, don't try it, say no, I'll park somewhere else. Now we're going along to my big friend brakes. If you're upgrading your engine to make it perform better, perform faster, you're gonna need bigger brakes. When it comes down to bigger brakes, what you need? Brembo brakes, you need bigger brake pads, you need a bigger brake disc, you need all that stuff included. You need a brake, all that need to be in here. Brake disc, brake pads, everything. So if you stop, you can stop. You won't be upgrade your brake system. Tires is one of my things that, guys, it's not hard, but if you start jumping in, you start camber out your car, doing some lot of camber, a lot of sets of things, you better get an alignment. If you don't get alignment, what are you doing? You're gonna be like this the whole time on the road. Please get an alignment. If you don't get alignment, your car will be messed up. Now, if you wanna drop it down, slam your suspension to the ground, camber out your wheels, you're gonna have to roll your fenders, or you're gonna have to do some really serious cutting in that fender well. So make sure you guys, and when it comes to that, what do you think gonna happen over time? You're gonna spend more money on tires because this is how much is getting on the ground right now. This is it. This is not like this. It's not like this, it's like this. So you're gonna have a lot of wear and tear in your tires. So you wanna go that route. Make sure you have the money set up in your bank account. But if you don't, you're gonna be at the tire shop probably every other month. And me personally, I like to save money, not throw away money on useless stuff. But for all my guys that like to do serious camber, do your thing. I'm proud of you. And hopefully one day you can teach me how to save money while doing that. And I know if you're doing that, it's dang sure not gonna be reliable, because there's places in my neighborhood I can't even drive. This is daily driver and modifications. Now, like I said before, if you're trying to mix these two together, make sure you're taking care of your maintenance, make sure you're on top of your stuff. Now, when it comes to having a modified car, you're gonna be outside a little bit more often than somebody just using it as a daily and not modifying it at all. So you're gonna have to do your inspections, and you're gonna hate it, but this is what the price you pay for it, because you want to show out at car meets and say, I'm big dog around here. And when you say you big dog, it comes with a heavy price. All right, so this is where I'm gonna close out the video today. Hope you enjoyed this video, because I gave you a lot of tips and tricks that you can do to your car to keep it reliable. Most importantly, I gave you the main fundamentals of how to keep a car reliable is doing your proper maintenance on your car. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am out of here for today. So it's time for me to get out of here. So you always know the saying, drive with passion, keep going, stay active. Peace.